cheaper than our producer's underage sister, edgier than the stuff shown on late-night television, newer than Kim Kardashian's ex. Live from Orlando, it's Crazy Train Radio.
Hey everyone, this is XPAC from D-Generation X, and you're listening to Crazy Train Radio. And if you're not down with that, I got 2 words for ya. Suck it!
Finally tracked down the busy man himself, Sean XPAC Waltman. This Saturday, the 23rd, March 23rd, he's actually going to be working in Jerry Lynn's retirement match, being presented by Heavy on Wrestling out in Minneapolis. Sean, what's going on, man?
Right now, I just taken a brief moment out of my day to sit back and answer a few tweets and talk to you fellas. But I've been keeping myself real busy, which is a good thing for me. Because when you're the type of person I am, it's not a good thing to have too much free time on your hands.
Yes. So when do you actually travel out? Because you said you're actually at NXT today. When are you traveling out to Minneapolis there?
I was good. Actually, I was planning on going to NXT, and just with everything that's going on, and preparing for the big show this Saturday, I couldn't make it over there. Well, I mean, I still probably could. It's just it wouldn't be prudent with all the responsibilities I have right now. So they'll live without me for a week. It's done pretty damn good so far.
Oh, that's for sure. And maybe you can address it. For those who don't know, Sean actually just recently signed on to the Legends deal with the WWE. So is there some responsibility with that, working with NXT, or?
No, actually, it's not even. It has absolutely nothing to do with my Legends contract. It's just it's a sense of duty that makes me do that. When you go there and you have the sincere admiration and respect of the people that are there, and they want to pick your brain, and they're most all of them are asking all the right questions, and and they got great guys there. They got great guys that are teaching there and stuff. But it doesn't hurt to get another perspective on things, especially somebody that's been in main events most of my career. So even if I wasn't the guy selling the house out, I was up there in the thick of things, and I know the recipe. So and they all know that. Is why they come in and ask me, and I love it, man. I love it because it reminds me of back when I was that age and I was hungry and I wanted to learn every single thing there was to know about wrestling. Which never happens, but you keep on trying.
Yeah, I got a question with you. Jerry Lynn, you have one hell of a background with him. You obviously feuded with him back in the day when you were known as Lightning Kid in GAWF. Any kind of game plan coming into this Saturday?
The main game plan is to send Jerry off in the manner that he deserves, because he's one of the greats that ever stepped inside a ring, and he's never been given the proper credit deserved, and I have to blame him partly for that, for being too nice a guy. He's just the nicest guy you ever want to meet, and people say that about me sometimes. Some people that have never met me might find that hard to believe, but I still have a bit of asshole in me, so I know when to bring it out, so Jerry's just that guy that deserves to go out and on a high note and teaming with him, it's an honor for me that he asked me to do that. I couldn't be more honored.
So Jerry was the one who reached out to you to be a part of the show?
Well, the promoters at first, but Jerry actually reached out to me as far, because at first I was just going to be on hand to show my support and that, but you know, Jerry asked me to tag with him, and you know, also the main thing is always to make the people happy, and for those that come on out. And I'm expecting there to be a pretty good crowd, just even by word of mouth. The last time Jerry and I worked in Minneapolis at First Avenue, the place was jam-packed. So there's going to be a lot of great guys coming in. Tommy Dreamer's coming in. Perry Saturn's going to be there. My ex, well, she's always going to be my girl. Actually, Sean DeMario kicked my ass when he hears that. I didn't mean it that way, but Ryan Shamrock will be there. Daivari. Let's see. There's a lot of guys, you know, because so many people in our industry have that much respect.
How can you not respect Jerry? We're actually going to be talking to Jerry later this evening, but you know, he's one of, like you said, I don't think there's very few guys in the wrestling business that you don't really hear a bad word about the guy.
And you know, he gave more than he received. You know, there's an expression: you get what you put in. And in his case, that didn't turn out that way. He put in way more than he got back, and that goes for another guy that's supposed to be there too. And I consider a dear friend and one of the rare wonderful human beings, and that's Sabu. So both of those guys, they put in way more than they got back out.
Yeah, those two guys there you mentioned, those are the guys you would have loved to have seen make millions and millions of dollars and truly be successful financially, as well as the respect aspect of things. Yeah,
isn't it funny how it works out that way sometimes? And you know, philosophically, you know, we'd love to think that you know, well, those guys will get theirs, and the good ones will get what's coming to them at the end of the day. And let's just hope that's true, you know, because you know, it's not over yet for Jerry or you know, Sabu or any of us. Just look at Scott Hall. What's going on with him right now?
Well,
you know,
it's
a miracle in and of itself.
Well, obviously, you know, it's amazing that you brought that up, the support that the fans have shown Scott Hall. But you actually had a hand in trying to get that reunion with him and DDP together.
Well, Kevin and I, we ran out of ideas on what to do with him, you know, because you know, these last 10 years, we're the ones that took care of that. And anytime there was issues with Scott, just so you know, I mean, you know, for one thing, Hunter's a busy man. Not that he wouldn't be there, but you know, Sean's got his own deal going, and Kevin and I are here in Florida, and we're the closest. I mean, we're the closest to Scott. So you know, we've always been the ones that have you know, made the efforts, so to speak. And we ran out. We just you know, we just both kind of we didn't give up, but it was we were at our wits' end. We were very frustrated and very scared of losing our friend. So you know, you do what you got to do. And I knew Dallas. And Scott's relationship was very special. And knowing Dallas the way I do, and knowing the kind of guy he is, I knew that he'd be there for him, and he did not disappoint.
And of course, we're going to talk about a little bit with the Indiegogo. What has been raised? The target goal was $80,000. They're up over $91,000 right now.
Wow! See, you're telling me that I don't even know. I quit looking at it, and I quit like shoving it down people's throats once it hit the hit the target, because everybody's money is very hard-earned these days, and it's very difficult for people to part with it. And it's for me to ask somebody to part with it. It takes a very special circumstance for me to do that. I would do that for myself. You know?
You're exactly right. It's almost hard to get people to come out to a wrestling show and watch.
On Twitter, which, you know, is one of the greatest things that's ever been invented, but it also gives a platform for every jackass that has a computer to you know come on and make comments that, you know, make you want to punch your computer screen sometimes. But you know, oh, are you giving this money to this guy? Oh, no, he blew all his money on drugs. First of all, nobody knows why Scott is in the financial position he's in. You know, the drug and alcohol is merely part of it, and a small one at that. I mean, there's the real estate bubble, the financial crisis, a lot of different things. He was ripped off for hundreds of thousands of dollars. But that's not anybody else's fault.
Yeah.
It's that you know, people are saying you know, this is, you know, you're giving your money to this guy you're donate like you're donating to a charity and not getting anything in return. It's not a charity. It's to help Scott, you know, with his medical bills and to help him live. You know, $15 for an autographed picture of Scott Hall is dirt cheap.
Oh, by the way, yes.
You know,
and
so whoever thinks
phone call, I mean,
whoever thinks, oh, you know, whoever's like talking shit and that, you know, they either already know that and they're just saying it anyways, or they need to get their facts straight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and anybody can go and check it out. It's indiegogo.com/we can rebuild him. And you wouldn't believe the perks, from $10 to $3,500, which gives you a night to spend at the Accountability Crib, DDP's home, with Jake and Diamond and, of course, Scott. But, yeah, it's a great cause. There are so many perks you can get. And, of course, just like Sean said, you know, you guys haven't given up on him. This time, I really believe that this is the time. DDP, look what he's done with Jake the Snake Roberts. This man is truly, I want to get too, you know, religious, but an angel in disguise, because this man has helped people, so much. And it's good to see that, we heard the phone call that, you know, there's a video that you made a phone call to him, and then, of course, he called Scott, and him and Jake talked to Scott. And we've seen it. Do you know any idea of when this surgery will take place or anything? Or any
I believe it's April 9th. April 9th he's going in. Yeah, he can't wait to. He wants it like yesterday, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because he can't wait to. Because when you're sober and you're clear-headed, you know, and you're sitting there and chomping at the bit, man, you want to get in the gym. You want to do everything constructive you can think of, you know.
Especially with Scott, because he was so physical. He was really worried about his physicalness, the way he looked. Scott always, worried about his, appeal to people.
Yeah, that's true. And he doesn't want to be seen in public not looking bad either. And that's understandable. And Dallas is here's the thing about Dallas. Dallas is a very blessed guy. He has a lot of blessings in life, and he realizes that, and so he in turn he does all this stuff. You wouldn't believe the money the guy spends on food just for those guys.
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean, videos. Yeah, and I mean, there's also other factors that play into it. They're making a documentary and all that, so people can obviously point to different things. Well, this could be the motive or that motive, but the true motive is our friend's life. You know?
And it goes both ways because I remember, back in the day there, Jake and Scott, they helped Diamond Dallas Page get into the business and get it, move up a little bit, if you'd say. He's definitely helped them and been an inspiration to Diamond, to help him to get to where he's at. So, it's good to see that, he's reaching out and, I was glad to see Scott take that call, take the airplane ride down to Georgia and to be with him.
Yes, usually he couldn't get him on the phone either. All this was meant to be for for anybody that has even like a smidgen of a spirituality in them. Right, this stuff is this whole thing was meant to be, and whichever one of you said that this time it's going to happen. I believe that from the bottom of my heart.
Yeah, you can see in the YouTube video.
It's not just Scott's friends and that now that he has to worry about disappointing. It's the whole world.
Yeah, you're exactly right. That's the perfect way to put it. Sean, let's get back into you a little bit. Are we going to see you here at WrestleMania 29? Are you going to make a showing at the Hall of Fame or anything? And real quick, what do you think about Bruno Sammartino finally coming to the Hall of Fame, coming home, if you'd say, to Madison Square Garden?
Perfect. The only thing is that if it was, but I'm more than happy to step back and wait my turn. But Vince wanted to put D-Generation X in this year.
That's what I heard that.
Yeah, and it's not quite that time yet. But they were worried about not worried, but they wanted to make sure that the Hall of Fame sold out.
Yes.
And Vince was like, if DX was in on it, I guarantee it would sell out.
Well, let me ask you this: is there a rumor true that Triple H said that he wants himself in before a Generation X?
I don't know, but I want that for him.
Yes, of course.
I think he deserves it. I mean, I would like one day to be recognized for my singles accomplishments, because the things I did before I was XPAC and D-Generation X were pretty noteworthy too. But that's neither here nor that's for other people to decide. But as far as Paul goes, yeah, let him have his time. First, we're going to be here. None of us are going away anytime soon. God forbid, anything unforeseen.
And I know you recently dusted off the singlet of the 1-2-3 Kid here at the King of Trios for Shikara. Are we going to see the return of the 1-2-3 Kid anytime here soon?
Probably not. Probably not anymore. It's just, I mean, that was for Chikara and the fans. It's not something I can keep doing. I'm not the 1-2-3 Kid anymore. I mean, I'm going bald, for crying out loud. So, I mean, it's just fact of life, and that. But it was great for nostalgia purposes, and real feel good moments for everybody involved, especially myself, But let's leave it at that.
He's more like the 1-2-3 man by this point.
Yeah, when I came back to work for Vince, he knew I had this complex about being the kid. Now, like, I can't stand it when my friends don't call me kid.
Yeah.
But he knew, like, I didn't want to be the kid anymore, so one of his ideas was, how about if we call you the man? I'm just like, maybe not.
So
that's a little bit much to live up to.
Well, hey, you've done a lot of maturing yourself over the years, as you said, so, maybe not as much restrictions.
So you guys think, anyways. Fooling you all! No, you have to. Yeah, we have to grow,
Real quick, what do you think about, I don't know if you heard the story about Chris Masters saving his mom, uprooting a tree and saving his mom. Have you heard about that yet?
Yeah, I did.
I know that you guys go out.
Yeah, he came to my birthday party at the Rainbow Room in L.A., and, we like to get together and talk wrestling, and he's a student of the game. He needs another run, man. He needs another crack at things. He deserves one. He really isn't just a big musclehead stiff. He's a smart guy, and he wants to, and he's good in there. He's better now than he was when he was there. And it doesn't surprise me. I'm very proud of him. It doesn't surprise me in the least bit, though. That's your mother,
Yeah.
If that's your mother, you do the same damn thing. I mean, you probably wouldn't rip a tree out of the ground, but you do whatever the hell you have to.
You're exactly right.
Well, speaking of that, because obviously you guys came in at different times into the business, what's the biggest change you've seen as far as things handled?
In what way?
Well, we were talking with, who was it yesterday, or Dory Funk the other day, and Dory was saying about how TV nowadays dominates everything compared to...
Sure. Yeah, it does. And it's, 3 hours on Raw. I don't know if SmackDown's 3 hours or not. You guys tell me.
2. They're usually 2.
2? Still 2? Okay, good. That's a lot. Still, that's a lot of hours of original programming every week. And I remember it being one of the things that really drug WCW down, but they were totally unorganized. That's the difference between the two companies. I just think people are kind of getting used to the 3-hour thing already, even though it might be it's not like they're ending late, it's just that they're starting earlier, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct. Yeah, they're starting at 8 o'clock.
Yeah. My thing is what they do at the time that they have, I mean, I sit and watch and make comments. I'm waiting to get a call from Hunter, or a text, hey, why don't you, pull back the reins on your Twitter a little bit there, pal. But honestly, they need to, I think if they didn't, like reading it, they'd have mentioned it already to me, trust me.
Yeah, you better be sure of that. Well, too, also, 3 hours gives the time for, just say, for instance, different things. But one thing I do think they need to work on, maybe you can agree with me, they brought back the New Age Outlaws, your buddies, Road Dogg and Billy Gunn here to recently work, Badass Billy Gunn. And I'll tell you what, guys, you probably agree with me. These guys could still be the number one tag team right now in the WWE. Unfortunately, I don't like what WWE is doing with the tag teams, basically throwing mixed couples together, not an actual tag team like the Usos or Primo and Epico. But, man, did those guys work the other night against Damian Sandow and Cody Rhodes? They still look good.
Yeah, it was, man, those guys, just until those guys were rehired, I was doing 6-mans with them or tags with one of the two, all over the indies. And, so I knew as well as anybody that both those guys still have it. And it's what they have upstairs that makes them better than the rest. Because they're, just like me, their bodies aren't what they used to be. We don't heal as fast as we used to, and that, but, those guys know what to do, and when they went out there, they did it, and when it was time to make the monster, they made the monster, and they laid there like you're supposed to do while they stood over them in the ring and did their business. That's how you do it. For all those that were complaining about how long they were laying there, that's how you do it. That's how you put somebody over correctly.
Of course.
Well, those guys. Sorry, go ahead, Chris.
No, I was going to say, with of course, Paul Bearer's, William Moody's passing, here recently, we've seen some stuff on Raw that JR is quoted to say as being tacky and, You know, they really can't believe that they're going this route. And I understand the Undertaker.
Now, did he really? Are you paraphrasing? Or are you quoting?
No. I'm actually quoting from
because I heard him say something made him uncomfortable, but I never read the word.
I'm asking, do you think that like the way they're going with it is okay? I know that you've known William Moody for a long time, and do you think what they're doing is wrong, or do you think it's okay?
That's a real subject, question that's subject to opinion.
Yeah, it is.
If you ask William Moody, he'd tell you, knock yourselves out.
Yeah, I guess you're exactly right. Yep.
But you can't force somebody to not be offended or not be uncomfortable by certain things. That's just the way it is. However, at the same time, there's nothing in the Bill of Rights or Constitution that protects you from being offended.
Yes.
Nothing.
That's right.
Freedom of speech, all of that is specifically to protect offensive type of speech.
Honestly, I got to know personally Bill a little bit over the past 10 years or something, and I think they've done. At first, I know personally I was surprised that it was introduced, but then again, I also trying to think objectively that it was done in a tasteful manner, that they weren't beating you over the head with his passing, but obviously acknowledging it.
Yeah, and then I feel JR where he was coming from. I didn't read anything that said tacky. The only thing I read was he said made him uncomfortable, and I can understand why you would feel that way. I was a little bit like, where's this going? When I first heard the in the imitation of Pooh Bear's voice. But man, this is wrestling, and I know I don't want to go as like that as the go-to excuse all the time. Yeah. Like whenever something something happens that's offensive or questionable, I hate to go to, hey, yeah, but it's wrestling, I don't like that, because it's also, we are part of the real world as well, so.
Yeah.
Whether the real world likes it or not.
Anything else you have going on here? We're going to see you back in the ring here, maybe at NXT or Raw or a SmackDown here soon?
Well, I'll be at, boy, it's like I'm having a brain fart here. I know exactly where I'm going to be at Fan Access. Quite a few appearances there this WrestleMania, and who knows as far as other things I've got going with them. Some things are things I can't talk about, and that, but I'm excited about a upcoming trading card deal that's in the works. All of this through the Legends program. They've been fantastic to me, by the way. I'm so grateful to be back in the family there. You really don't know unless you've ever worked for them. You really don't know what you're missing as far as being treated first class and having things done first class and in a proper manner. It's just, oh man, it's nice.
You're not the only one we've heard say that. Anyone who we've talked to who has worked up there, if you were a loyal employee, they treat you like you just said, first class. Anything you need, they really take care of business up there.
Even if you're not a loyal, like quote unquote, like you're saying, employee or of the month type guy, if you're a talent that they've asked to come in and do something with, out of just their own pride, out of Vince's pride and how he operates his business in a classy way, that's also another reason why a person's, has a limo picking them up at the airport, and treated just you don't forget it. You don't forget it when you've worked for WWE. That's for damn sure.
Well,
and hey, you guys, like, I just want to thank you so much for for the publicity for this thing on Saturday, Jerry Lynn's retirement match. It's a huge deal for me personally, and I can't thank you guys enough.
Well, you know what? That's better well said. For the information on the show up in Minneapolis this Saturday, the 23rd, HeavyOnWrestling.com. It's going to be Jerry Lynn's retirement farewell party. I know I think I saw they're doing a meet and greet, and they're going to have a bell time at 6:15-ish. So, you know, guys, go out and support Jerry. Say goodbye. Treat the guy right, because he's been right to the fans and everybody for so many years.
Absolutely. Couldn't say it better myself.